with no ceasefire deal in place with Hamas. Fox's Alex Hogan reports.
After truce talks fell through, Israeli officials are now reportedly discussing expanding the offensive in the Strip. It's been 668 days since the start of the war. Of the hostages still held in Gaza, 20 are believed to still potentially be alive. Among them is Eviatar David. Hamas released a video of the 24-year-old appearing emaciated in a tunnel.
Now, there's also an international outcry about starving Palestinians and deadly attacks on crowds near Gaza food distribution sites. The U.S. and Israel are blaming Hamas for stealing a lot of the food that's been sent in. Dozens of Democratic Texas lawmakers remain out of state to block a vote in the legislature on congressional redistricting that could give the GOP 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick tells Fox.
We've had over 2 million people move here in the last couple of years. They're voting more and more Republican, and they deserve and want Republican representation in Congress.
And as Governor Abbott threatens to arrest the lawmakers and try to bring them back to Texas,
some Democratic governors like New York Governor Kathy Hochul and California Governor Gavin Newsom are threatening to retaliate. They're considering options to redraw their own state congressional lines if Republicans in Texas move forward with their plans.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. The Trump administration is escalating a new investigation into an old one, reviewing what the president calls the Russia hoax.
Attorney General Pam Bondi signed this order directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 presidential candidate Donald Trump to Russia.
Fox's David Spun, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard's recently declassified documents she alleges shows intel about Russian influence was manipulated by the Obama administration. America's listening to Fox News.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
They still haven't found a wanted man in Montana, where it's day 5, hunting down an Army veteran turned suspected killer.
Federal agents and local officials continue to search on foot, in vehicles, and from helicopters for Michael Brown, closing off part of a national forest in southwestern Montana. The 45-year-old Army veteran who served in Iraq and in Montana's National Guard is believed to be armed and dangerous. He's accused of opening fire inside a bar in Anaconda Friday, killing 4 people. Officials say Brown fled the scene but was later spotted a few miles away with a stolen truck. Noting while it's unclear what led to the shooting, he was a regular at the bar and likely knew the victims. The U.S. Marshal Service is offering up to $10,000 for information that could lead to his arrest. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
The search also continues for another quadruple murder suspect in Tennessee. Austin Drummond, last seen on surveillance video Sunday night in Jackson. He's accused of killing 4 members of the same family last week. A baby was later found abandoned and alive in a car seat 40 miles away. 2 men accused of helping Drummond have been arrested. They have found another suspect in the street brawl last month in Cincinnati that you may have seen. Video of it went viral.
Cincinnati police announced the arrest of Patrick Rosemond on counts of felony assault and aggravated riot. He was located in Fulton County, Georgia, and arrested with the help of an Atlanta police task force and the FBI. On July 26th, what Cincinnati police have called a violent attack took place on a city street corner where a woman was beaten. Rosemond is in the process of being extradited to Ohio to face charges. Police say 5 are in custody, but a 6th person will also be charged. The investigation into what led to the fight continues. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures rising modestly the day after a rebound from Friday's sell-off. The Dow surged up 585 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Several residents displaced after an apartment fire in Champaign. It broke out just before 9 last Friday in the 3700 block of Colleen Drive. Fire there responded, had it out within an hour. 2 units were impacted. At least one person hurt. It follows a single vehicle rollover on northbound I-57 in Champaign Monday afternoon between Interstate 72 and 74. Illinois State Police say only one car was involved and it rolled over. There was no word on injuries. The police and fire continue to investigate. Several Texas Democrats in Illinois, after fleeing their home state in protest. Governor Pritzker arranged for roughly 40 Texas lawmakers to stay in Illinois for a week in efforts to derail Republicans' plan to redistrict the Lone Star State. Governor says the group of Texas Dems held a news conference saying they're fighting back against the administration's efforts to rig the system. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Good morning, friends. ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey. Mr. Greg Solier is our meteorologist. Good to have you along, sir.
Yep. Thank you. Always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Beautiful morning here across East Central Illinois with weather this morning brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions to busy offices. If you'd like a free evaluation, they've been outstanding with our older machine.
Yeah, it's been great meeting Greg and David as they came and take care of business with our copier.
Very promptly, I might add. Outstanding service. Watts Copy System, reach them at 217-352-0428. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to August 5th, 2025. Meteorologist Greg Solier, what you thinking here today, sir?
Well, a pretty decent day's worth of weather, as expected. Did pop off a couple of showers in a couple of spots during the course of the afternoon hours yesterday. Boy, some of the storms that were south and east of us towards the Wabash and down towards Terre Haute and all around, let's say, the regions around Vincennes, Indiana, for example, and then back up to the I-70 corridor, down through maybe around Jasper County. Boy, it's 3-4+ inches of rain on some of that slow-moving activity, of which this morning it's doing its thing, this time south and east of Indianapolis, but we may still kick back a couple of showers as the day wears on. Iffy and spotty at best here all the way to about Champaign, better odds to the east and south, of which we're seeing a little rain down around areas on the I-70 corridor just outside of Terre Haute, for example. They check in at 67, 65 Bloomington normal, 58, 59 comfortable degrees, really, for that matter, up there in Iroquois County. Most everyone else into the low 60s, from 64 at Danville to 63 downtown, 68 though at Willard and Savoy. Going to head up to a pretty seasonal day's worth of weather for the day today with partly sunny skies and the rain chances up to 30 or 40% late morning and afternoon as things kind of warble in from east and southeasterly directions. A high around 84, light east wind bottoming out tonight with a stray shower chance this evening to 65. Dry days worth of weather tomorrow and into Thursday, Friday, and the front part of the weekend up to 85 tomorrow, 66 tomorrow night. A little more humidity creep, but nothing out of control between Thursday and Friday. Highs up in the middle 80s on Thursday. We'll flirt with 90 for Friday and Saturday. Then late in the weekend, early next week, cool front will come on by. That'll drop temperatures just a wee bit, humidity more so, and generate some garden variety coverages on the showers and thunderstorms at 88 on Sunday, back into the low to mid 80s Monday and Tuesday of next week, and dry weather Tuesday afternoon and through Wednesday of next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yep. 3 weeks from Friday, we play football here in Champaign-Urbana when Western Illinois comes to town. I would think it'd be kind of comparable to playing in Eastern. Eastern's generally been the best smaller school. Illinois State's been very good too. But Western Illinois is a game they're excited to get. They get paid a pretty good chunk of money.
Okay.
They're not supposed to win. So I would mention that to their coach. Hey, this is exciting, isn't it? All you leathernecks in town, but don't be thinking about doing anything stupid like beating us.
Well, we're in the top 15. Hasn't happened since 1990. Well, number 12 in that preseason coaches poll in the USA Today.
So it's Ohio State and Penn State. They're the only two ahead of me? Oregon's up there too. Okay, so it's Ohio State number 1. And then I'm just looking at Big Ten now. So it's Penn State and then Oregon ahead of us at 12. And we were picked preseason to go fourth in the Big Ten out of 18. And that would be ginormous if Illinois football could actually accomplish that. News Gazette has a very nice piece with Bob Osmussen about Robert Zubke.
Okay.
Who was Robert Zupke? He was a coach at Illinois way back when, from like 1918 to 1940, something like that.
Right.
It was a long run for Robert Zupke.
One of the originals.
Well, that's why it's called Zupke Field. You don't see it very often, but on the end of the north end zone, it's Zupke Field etched in stone.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Zupke went to track meets and to recruit football players. That's how he found the fast guys.
Red Grange, for instance.
Yeah, I don't know if I think Red did run track, and obviously Red Grange kind of changed the game, and they did the barnstorming where everybody wanted to see this phenom run, and they filled stadiums, kind of the birth of the NFL.
Yeah.
And George Halas was involved in all of that, and Robert Zupke was one of the historical figures. Anyway, nice article this morning's News Gazette front page. A woman called me in 1985, and her name was Louise, and she was obviously older, I think in her 90s. And she said, I'm listening to your radio show and really enjoy it, and I wanted you to know that I knew Robert Zupke, and your spirit reminds me of him.
Aww.
And she said, I have a chalk drawing of Robert Zupke, one of his chalk drawings, and I want you to have it. So it's still in my house today, of a chalk drawing. And he was kind of an artist on the side. I mean, it's back when football didn't take 24/7.
Uh-huh.
And you could actually have a life and that kind of thing. And so Robert Zupke was this incredible, energetic German coach that was such a leader for the University of Illinois. And you'll see his chalk drawings. That's not super rare, I don't think. But I'm honored to have Louise Ross. Louise and Wynn were dear friends of ours. For a year or two, Janet and I used to go over in the 80s and kind of visit with them.
Uh-huh.
She couldn't see and he couldn't hear, but together they could do both.
Okay.
It was really
a good partnership.
A joy to meet somebody with such, and she was very prim and proper and beautiful and just a heck of a. So I saw the Zupke article and the whole thing flashed back. That was a long time ago, Johnny. We were talking back when you were just out of playing football in Illinois, 7 years after.
We never really got all the scoop on Mr. Zupke, so that's very interesting.
He was, but it's pretty genius back in the day to go to track meets and just, hey, you're pretty fast. You want to play football?
Uh-huh.
What's football?
Right.
All right, good morning. Good to have you listening. We got Governor Pritzker protecting fugitives.
Right.
They were issued a warrant for their arrest, all the Texas Democrats, 40 of them. And they're going to, of course, Gavin Newsom comes out and said, I'm going to fight fire with fire. Well, look at Illinois. We're pretty gerrymandered ourselves.
I know it.
I mean, there's Nikki Budzinski and Jeff Wilson who are running for the 13th Congressional District. It goes 300 miles down to East St. Louis.
It's like a little finger or an eel or something right in the middle, a tiny sash right in the middle of our state.
I mean, gerrymandering's been a thing where the party in power draws the map and says, I'm going to include this traditional Republican thing and just seed that. But just this last, 4 years ago, they got rid of, either it was going to be Rodney Davis or Mary Miller, and Mary Miller won. Mm-hmm. And so they eliminated a Republican seat in Illinois. That was just 4 years ago. So for them to bolt the state, which I did not know was against the law, but apparently there's some Texas thing where they can't issue a warrant. Now, to come into Illinois and go get them is a little different thing. By the way, they flew in a charter jet. Who paid for that?
The Texans. I think there's a law. Well, in their state legislature, they probably have to have a certain number of people present to enact a law. Yep. So they leave and they can't do anything. I don't think it's what the people of Texas really wanted to vote for. But it's another ploy that can get somebody what they want, even though the system it kind of is set up to where you vote, and whoever wins the vote, that's how you get the gerrymandering or not. But they don't want to do that, not when they're not in.
Yeah, well, why doesn't Chapin Rose organize the Republicans leaving Illinois? Because they're in the super minority. Maybe they could hold that against.
There may not be enough Republicans to make a difference.
Might be right. That might be right. All right.
What this says, Pritzker has arranged a group of about 30 Democratic lawmakers to stay in Illinois this week.
Well, he's the governor, so he can kind of protect guests if he sees fit, I guess.
I'm sure he has rooms at the Hilton? Is that
no, those are the migrants. This is illegal. They have yeah, they'll have to stay over at the Drake. Okay, so here we go. It was actually a really good win for the St. Louis Cardinals. How about that?
3-2 over the LA Dodgers. Let's get more details.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and what an amazing night at Dodger Stadium for the Cardinals. Sonny Gray, 7 innings with just 1 hit, 1 run allowed. The Cardinals got home runs from Mason Wynn, Ivan Herrera, and a big pinch hit from Joel Pozo in the 9th.
Pozo won a game with a pinch home run at Wrigley Field. He's known for putting the ball in play. And on 2-0 from Brock Stewart, the pitch. Pozo swings, base hit right center. The Cardinals lead. Hampson scores. Nootbaar makes third. 3-2 Cardinals in the 9th.
2 great plays by Nootbaar. Diving catch on the line that took a hit away from Mookie Betts. And Ohtani was left on base, so was Will Smith, as JoJo Romero got the last out.
A lot of good experience for a lot of the good young Cardinal players at Dodger Stadium last night. A terrific ball game, and the Cardinals came out on top.
The Cardinals tonight are going with right-hander Miles Michaelis. We're on the air at 8:15.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cincinnati over the Cubs 3-2 yesterday. From Wrigley, it's a 7:05 start. Shoto Imanaga will be on the mound for the Cubs.
They had Dansby Swanson in the 8th inning.
Yes.
Supposedly tie the game. And he beat the throw to first base, but his toe missed the bag by an inch.
Oh, God.
And clearly the replay said, no, he missed the bag by an inch. And that was the game. So that was huge.
Right. Zach Littell, I believe, Littell, is the Reds pitcher. We'll have Chicago White Sox at Seattle with an 8:40 start. I mentioned the preseason coaches poll in the USA Today, ranking Illinois as number 12.
Johnny. We're 12th in the nation.
Good deal.
Yeah, let's go.
A lot of respect.
Illinois?
Wait, 12th in the nation in Division I football?
Yeah.
That would be 12
Division
playoffs teams, Steve.
There you go.
That's why
I
like that.
The team, Gabe Ackus, who's preseason a lot, number 17 defensively, he said it's playoff or bust. That's the mentality. Isn't that exciting to be thinking like that anyway? It's a big climb from where our history has been, so I'm excited for the potential.
And getting the tap for some watch lists for the Walter Camp Player of the Year Award. Luke Altmaier is one of 22 quarterbacks on that list. And the Patrick Manley Award, one of 30 with Lane Hansen, our snapper. So we're saying go Illini with a lot of our players getting some recognition at this time of year.
Yep.
Preseason NFL is being talked about, and we'll be paying attention Sunday at noon as we get Miami with the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. And you can hear the action over on Q96.
Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenshaw, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there. Terrific people, terrific office. Kurt Lenshaw, State Farm.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by...
I just did that.
Well, it was a good game to relive the Redbird Recap memory.
It was a good game. Here's Greg.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity and a couple of spotty showers and thunderstorms over parts of the area yesterday. Boy, some of those slow-moving storms brought some drenching rainfall in a county or two south of Champaign and across into parts of southwest Indiana near the Wabash. In any event, may see another repeat of that here later on this afternoon and evening time in a couple of spots. Otherwise, seasonal warmth, a little pickup on humidity. Hot and humid weather to start off the weekend. A cold front of the move will bring temperature and humidity levels down early next week. Rain chances slowly increase to 40% during the later morning and afternoon. Partly sunny skies in between a shower thunderstorm breaking out. The high around 84. Down tonight to a low of 65 with an evening shower threat. Then becoming fair in the overnight. For the day tomorrow, partly cloudy. Up around 85. Sunshine a bit more humid at 86 on Thursday. Getting hot and humid close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Monday. Temperatures with lower humidity into early next week. Back down into the low to mid-80s.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Report. Stock futures have been trading mostly higher after yesterday's upbeat session on Wall Street. Friday's weaker than expected employment report has investors betting the Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates. Market participants now expect at least 0.25% cuts by the end of the year. Earnings are mixed. Pfizer shares up 3%. The pharma giant's boosting its forecast for the year. DuPont's forecast is more optimistic after a better than expected quarter. Shares are up 5%. DuPont is seeing demand from tech companies. It supports chip manufacturing, packaging, and assembly. Though Caterpillar shares are down 4%. The construction and farm equipment maker is reporting cooling demand and higher costs tied to U.S. tariffs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Well, if you're ready to make a move like wanting to sell your house and maybe you'd want to downsize, whatever your reason, why don't you call Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group? Nate recently helped Benjamin in his search for a great home, and the 5-star review, a guy named Benjamin said, Nate and his team even coordinated the measurements of carpeting and delivery of the hardwood. They really get involved.
Yeah, and they're really invested, especially with the Champagne and Muhammad and all the agents having so many home sales to have that experience that you need to get the most money when you sell your home and to get into your next one. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. You can get that immediate cash offer on your home if that's what you're looking for. There's flexible fees, so sell your home for the most money possible. If you want to start the process, you can get a home estimate button at Nate Evans Group and enter your address and see what your answer is. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans. Just simply do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's probably just a me thing. It's just a me thing. It's a Stevie J thing where I have been to the games. I was at the 0-0 Northwestern Illinois tie. I was there before that. I was in Illinois in Memorial Stadium in the 60s. Dad took us to a game. All 6 of us were there. We were just little kids in the 60s. Some guy was sitting 5 bleachers up, swearing his brain out, so he moved because the family kept looking back at him. And we lost to Indiana, and the guy was yelling things like, all you had to do was run. In any event, I've been through it all, and I've seen the great seasons, and then the fact that we can't follow it up for some reason. And so when we are a team that is, I think we can stay with these guys, and I can't believe if we'll ever beat them. Now it's like, well, we ought to beat these guys by 30. And the whole mentality is that all of a sudden you're just, if you've seen it all, you're a little wobbly. on the confidence it can happen.
I'd say that's an understatement. I'm just glad you're not playing. You would just completely crater. He'd collapse into a fetal position, going, "No, we have to win 12."
Yes,
So-
right. No, I mean, yeah, that's I can still.
So
do
luckily, we got guys you really got the right attitude. You just take it snap by snap, and then
Yeah.
your coach is going to have the overall strategy, see the game picture, and you can win the game. And
But-
it
but-
might
but-
be, hey, you might be favored 30. I think we were favored 21 against Purdue. We won.
Yeah.
In overtime on
We
a
did.
sack.
We did. No,
But
you're right. Win's a win.
That's football.
No, but it doesn't mean I don't get in a fetal under to my desk.
You
I
don't.
can still get in a fetal if your team loses.
You just don't pay attention to that because you do get in the mindset of this isn't going well if they score first, and then you don't play as well because you're worried about the hype that goes with all sports, and it can affect you. The ones who stay even keeled and focus on their business. Just kind of like what I just saw where Elon Musk got $20 billion for focusing on his business because he was losing focus, and he was, and so now
it's so funny. To get $23.7 billion to focus on his business, that was his 27 stocks or whatever it was, billions of dollars. Just stay, please, focused on your work, and you're thinking, okay, for me, it'd be somebody coming in and giving me $1. And you're going, okay, it's not going to really change anything, but he has $400 billion.
It won't change anything. But it was symbolic. So
no, it was nice. And it looks like a lot of money. Anyway, we are all fired up. 3 weeks from Friday, it's Illinois and Western Illinois.
That's amazing. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Boy, that goes fast, too.
And it's on national TV. That's why we changed it from a Saturday game, so lack of tailgating for us on
So
Friday.
national TV now, I think, covers something like 160 channels. Where is it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of the only ones on TV that night, so the exposure was worth it. But we lose the tailgate and fun, all the tailgate.
Is it ESPN?
I don't know. Can
Is
you
it
look that up?
Peacock?
Could be Peacock.
It's Peacock.
It is Peacock. I got Peacock. So
Okay.
I think. Anyway,
I just wanted to start getting ready to find.
Yeah, you're right. How many different channels will be
national
on this?
TV is like. Now there is. I'm sure not all of them can be called national TV, but anyone can get it in the nation. Just about anything.
If you pay $6.99,
whatever, it's national television.
No, right. It's not like ABC or ESPN.
Yeah.
That's in your normal package.
Is there a normal package like that?
I don't know. Probably not. I always saw the package. Does anybody check phone bills? I tell you what, I checked DirecTV and the ticket on the YouTube last year. Christian and I split it, I think. Anyway, we had the ticket which has every game you want. We are now out of the ticket. I'm not paying Johnny $500 for the ticket. It was $250.
Okay.
For the season, $500.
That's a lot.
We're gonna buy something for $15 a month where it shows every scoring play on 8 screens.
There you go.
That's all.
Well, there are stations that just an antenna. You can buy a television and get what was used to call it an antenna,
right.
And you can get some stations.
You get the CBS game and the Fox game.
Okay.
So you get whatever they show. Here, around here would be the Bears, which is fine. We're a Bears affiliate now on Q96. Let me point out that I've never picked up a sports franchise that hasn't won a world championship.
Yes.
Cardinals and Cubs.
That's
Good
right.
job.
So the Bears are kind of
Coming out of the gate.
40
boom,
years
the
after
Cardinals.
the coach, can the Bears win a Super Bowl this year? It's 85.
Right.
It's in 2025.
Well,
so
They
time.
can.
they're pretty good.
Saints
40
can.
years later, let's do this.
My fear is we're picked number 32nd. I'm afraid we'll get 31st and won't get Arch Manning the third. So
Arch Manning in Texas is number 1 in this preseason.
How about that
poll.
first football game for the big boys? It's Texas at Ohio State, defending championship. That's quite a
wow.
game. With Arch Manning, everybody's watching, but
it's at Ohio State.
At Ohio State. The buzz is already
Number
out that
2.
Arch Manning's planning to stay 2 years.
Okay.
Is that true? I
I
wonder.
don't know.
Well,
I think I saw a number quick, and it was worth staying.
I think.
yeah,
if,
he's getting a lot of money to stay. in
No,
college.
I think if that's out from the Mannings, he'll stay 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
Mannings are.
They're solid.
So then Penn State's number 3 in this poll, Georgia 4, Notre Dame at 5.
But just think about the Manning dinner table. It was Cooper, Peyton, and Eli, and you're sitting around having Sunday night dinner or
With
Tuesday
Archie.
night. Archie Manning, the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints.
Their dad.
And their lovely mom and bride, Olivia. That So they're sitting around your dinner table, and you're going to say 2 of you boys are going to be MVPs and the Super Bowl winners. What? What are the odds of that?
That's amazing.
2. And then Cooper's son's going to the NFL as another incredible player, or so they say.
And
Amazing.
Archie was a great player. I thought he should have won the Heisman at Ole Miss, Archie the dad. And
he went to the New Orleans Saints, and that wasn't very good in the 70s.
Right.
He finished up at Minnesota. I never forget he's telling us that he figured it was time to go. He was sacked for the 8th time. There was a guy, probably 310, which back then was big.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, Archie, you need to stay down. They're not blocking for you. And he says, I thought it was time to go then.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. Archie, they're not blocking for you. Ouch. All right, well, break in. We're going to come back. I got some clips. I've got Donald Trump responding to the 35% tariff on Canada overnight. Okay. That happened. Joe Rogan on the far left, pretty candid, and Elizabeth Warren in kind of an argument about what Zephron Mondami really wants to do in New York. Stand by. We'll bring it all to you next. 7:30 ESPN 93.5.
News. I'm CJ Papa. Ceasefire talks stalling between Israel and the terror group Hamas. Today, Israel's leader meets with the security cabinet.
It's been 668 days since the start of the war. Of the hostages still held in Gaza, 20 are believed to still potentially be alive. Israel has requested an emergency UN Security Council meeting today, which is expected to take place in New York to discuss the conditions and the current status of these hostages.
Fox's Alex Hogan in London. Texas Governor Greg Abbott orders state police to arrest Democratic state lawmakers to force them to go back to the Capitol, but the warrants are not enforceable across state lines. Democrats bolted some deep blue states so it can foil Republican plans to vote on new congressional maps that could win them 5 new seats in 2026. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Several Texas Democrats in Illinois after fleeing their home state in protest. Governor Pritzker arranged for roughly 40 Texas lawmakers to stay in Illinois for a week in efforts to derail Republicans' plan to redistrict the Lone Star State. Governor says the group of Texas Dems held a news conference saying they're fighting back against the administration's efforts to rig the system. Several residents displaced after an apartment fire in Champaign. It broke out just before 9 last Friday in the 3700 block of Colleen Drive. Fire there responded, had it out within an hour. 2 units were impacted. At least one person hurt. It follows a single vehicle rollover on northbound I-57 in Champaign Monday afternoon between Interstate 72 and 74. Illinois State Police say only one car was involved and it rolled over. There was no word on injuries. The police and fire continue to investigate. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hi, Randy Graham here with Curtis Orchard. Our delicious donuts are back because we are open for the season. Wait till you see our expanded Land of Oz activities with more mazes, a basketball shootout, new games, and a shade pavilion. We're redoing our barn, and now you can watch artist Jose Vasquez create a new Oz mural. Follow Facebook for dates and times. Of course, we still have all your favorites like peaches, apples, produce, fritters, and pies, cider slushies to beat the heat. Go to curtisorchard.com and like us on Facebook to find out more.
We check your weather with our meteorologist. He's Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Kramer Siding and Window.
Get great curb appeal and superior weather protection with a new roof and gutter helmet. Check out how the two work better together as you visit kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Pretty easy to take, manageable mid-summertime weather pattern over the next several days. Had some rainfall and pretty healthy rainfall, but areas to the southeast of Champaign County yesterday near the Wabash and the I-70 corridor. Already some moisture breaking out there. Spotty coverages for the day-to-day and more or less seasonal temperatures. A brief warm-up slated over the front part of the weekend. A slight cool down behind it and just a scattering of moisture early next week as well. And we may pop still Still a stray late morning and afternoon shower thunderstorm for the day today. Again, best coverage is east and south of Champaign, in particular up to 84. Light easterly wind. Stray shower threat this evening, becoming fair in the overnight down to 65. Tomorrow partly cloudy, seasonal. Light east to southeast wind sets in for the afternoon at 85. Bit more humidity, 86 with sunshine Thursday, up close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms late Sunday, Monday. Moving out Tuesday, high temperatures into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Better banking is more than just money. It's about people. Fisher National Bank is locally owned community bank serving Champaign and Vermilion County. They're your friends and neighbors who take a vested interest in the communities they serve. Last year alone, Fisher National volunteered over 750 hours of community service. Investing in the people that they serve, Fisher National shares the success of a stronger community. Learn more about Fisher National Bank at any of the branches or fishernational.com. I've seen them in full force during the Muhammad Music Fest, which features Parmalee on August 23rd. We're a part of it over at US 105.9. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
All right, I'm Stevie J. That was Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Johnny is here. Brother Johnny's in town for a few days.
Nice weather right now.
Yeah, it is. 7:37.
We were talking about Archie Manning is the projected number one draft pick as he's never started a college game, says John in Camargo, texting into 359-2255, the Fisher National Bank text line.
You're welcome to call in. Yeah, that's true. I think he started when there was an injury.
He may have started.
He started some games, yeah,
and he did extremely well when he came in.
He throws it well, but he runs well too.
I don't know what situation they had with him, and then he kind of was second string to this very good quarterback Texas had. But now he's the man.
That guy transferred.
I think that was all in the whole deal.
I think it was too. Yeah. 2 years, but boy, for the guy in this day and age, and the pretentiousness and the entourages, the Paytons have the Mannings have their feet on the ground.
Well, they don't really have to worry about the deal money wise. So
yeah, right. That's true. That is true. Okay, so 7:38.
There's another text about how the Republican protesters, they're not on the doorstep of the hotel, which we kind of kidded around. I thought it was Hilton, but it's the Hyatt with the Pritzker's money, where all these Texans are, Democrats are staying.
They're staying at the Hyatt. That makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Are you comping the rooms? They had to pay for a $15,000 an hour jet. Is that right? How can a jet be $15,000?
That's what it costs. Yeah.
Wow. Man.
So you fly up
there. 30 of them here in Illinois.
Wait, first you have to buy the jet for $50 million.
Yeah,
then you pay the $15,000.
Well, that's got to be something that holds 40 or 50. So it's not just
no, it's a big airplane.
Okay,
and that's you're.
Well, and this text talks about how if it was reversed, and there would be Democrats protesting probably outside of the hotel where the Republicans were staying if they left the state on this gerrymandering.
Well, so the issue, remember, is the Texans want to vote on some redistricting, which could produce 4 or 5 more Republican congressmen.
Yeah.
So it becomes a very important national issue, what's going on here in the state of Illinois
That's
with
right.
the Texan Democrats.
The Democrats like Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul in New York, and even Governor Pritzker threatening to fight fire with fire. I thought they already gerrymandered California and New York and Illinois. Is there more seats to eliminate?
I don't know, Steve.
Says
There's
the House-
always another seat you can probably scrounge
The House
up.
currently has 219 Republican representatives, 212 Democratic representatives, and 4 vacancies after 3 Democrats died in office and 1 Republican resigned in July.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this has become an issue, and, Texas being so big.
It's
and again,
close,
the 5
really close.
Well, if they were able to do that to where it looked like they're going to gain 5 seats, that could almost sink the Democrats' hope of taking over the
But
House.
couldn't the Democrats respond by election time next year? I mean, can't
Possibly,
they withdraw?
but as Diane pointed out, there's something like 30 or 40. We have 435 seats.
100 Senate.
Let's just call it 10%.
Yeah.
43 seats.
535 total and 435.
100 in the Senate.
Yeah, right.
435 Congress.
Right.
And maybe 45 seats are legitimately contestable.
Wow.
So
Crazy.
we're talking about when there's 5 of them could swing
Yeah.
out of the 40
That's a lot.
that make the difference, then it's worth fighting over. But I think what frustrates me with the Democrats in general, but for sure the progressives, they just don't want to worry about what the rules are, what we agreed to, how you're supposed to. They just don't care. If it's their cause, none of it matters. It becomes patriotic to break every rule because they're saving democracy.
Yeah, that's right.
And it doesn't matter whether they are or not. That's their mindset, and they can do anything in their heroic to do it. So that's what that's our fellow Americans, and so we just have to somehow work it out.
Okay, from downtown Philo, with the mayor and his first lady walking by.
Yes, sir.
How long have they been dating?
Well, they'll have their 50th year October 12th. 50th anniversary.
Well, they dated before
but they
that.
were dating before that.
Yeah, so this is 50-some years for the mayor. and first
I
lady.
was thinking, Bob and I will be 48.
Oh, my God.
So we'll
Awesome.
probably go to their celebration, and I might tell her that'll be ours too. I did that once, and boy, did that not work. I'm just kidding. I'm not, honey. I'll never do that.
Yeah,
We're
of
gonna-
course not. All right, so here's Donald Trump talking about a 35. Well, he was talking actually last week about trying to work with Canada. And apparently Canada has just not been great to us when it comes to tariffs and charging our farmers, et cetera. Here's what the president said last week. And then overnight, while you slept, 35%, it's done. That's what it is. Good night. Came just hours ago.
Well, they have to pay a fair rate. It's all. It's very simple. They have been charging very, very high tariffs to our farmers, some over 200%. And they've been treating our farmers very badly. They've been treating our country very badly for years. And look, we like Canada. I love Canada. I have so many friends in Canada. But they've been very poorly led. They've been very, very poorly led. And all we want is fairness for our country. That's all. You know, they want to be under the, as we call it, the Golden Dome. And I said, well, you know, you're going to have to pay for that. They want a lot of things from our country, and for years we did it. We basically protect them with our military. They spend very little money on their military, as you know, not an acceptable amount of money.
Okay, so how does it? I mean, this is a big trade partner, particularly for Canada. I mean, I think we could survive, but it's big for Canada. So what happens here?
Well, I think I don't know the details, but I have found that generally speaking, Trump actually tells the truth. He exaggerates. He may say something that isn't, you can fact check, but generally speaking, I don't find him to lie through his teeth. I do think the trade deal was imbalanced. And when I hear people talking about tariffs aren't good, here's what's wrong with tariffs. We're talking about reciprocal tariffs. What we're talking about doing is, if you're going to charge us 100%,
Yeah.
and we can't sell a car, but we're not charging you to sell your cars here.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair.
No, it isn't.
And
Why
that's
did we
all-
tolerate that for so long?
Because we could, and as a result, we're not
Right.
doing as well as we could. And Trump's deal is, we need to do as well as we can.
Yeah.
And a lot of people disagree with that. No, we have too much. We can't do. We're taking advantage because we're so lucky. Well, you can argue that. And I think we should do as well as we can, because in general, that brings everybody up, not down.
The crowd, and I saw it on social media, I don't know where it was, somewhere in America, they had a tent at some county fair where you could smash watermelons to take your anger out about Donald Trump. And so those people, if they were listening, Johnny, would have been triggered by the fact that you don't think he lies through his teeth all the time.
Right. Well, no, a lot of people think all he says is lie.
Well, they're smashing watermelons they were just screaming.
But you can go to a lot of sources to hear that Trump lies through his teeth all the time.
Why would you waste all those good watermelons? Man.
So back to the topic of the gerrymandering, all our politicians act like 5-year-old children. When Republicans left Illinois to stop the Democrats from the news, reported it as racist. Only when the Republicans do it, says Rick. And Gary was commenting on how convenient. Texas Democrats escaping to the gerrymandering capital of the world. And Pritzker has nothing better to do than play along with their goofy games.
Yeah, but how can a governor protect when there's a warrant out for your arrest? How can a governor protect that? Isn't that illegal?
I don't know. They have a lot of power. The chief executive
of the state
and the nation. They have a lot of power, and so I don't know that it's quote illegal. Yeah. And you can certainly drag it out for a long time. Don't forget, Pritzker is definitely interested in running for president. He needs a Democratic Congress. And so he's actually looking to that function as he's protecting the Congress from the Republican majority if he can. And that's what he's doing.
He's all in on the woke left. I mean, he's putting all his chips on the AOC crowd.
He's putting all his chips on is a good way of saying it. I don't know what JB's real thoughts are, but that's his political move, is to take the left that Newsom's trying to move away from, and he's kind of split.
Yeah.
And then you got this Rahm Emanuel moderate.
Yeah.
See how he does. But the Democratic Party right now has a lot of trouble in their primary system shaking these progressives. And that's what I'm cheering for, the Democrats to get rid of the Mambanis at all and get back to some normalcy.
Their own party.
Where's Adlai Stevenson?
Yeah, right.
How about the Kennedy boys?
Yeah.
James Carville said you have to get rid of the progressives in the Democratic Party.
Well, it's
and I don't think they'll do it because they don't think they can win without them.
Well, I don't know if they can. They're going to do it if they can, but I don't think they can do well, and I don't think our country will do well if we're under the management of the progressive mindset.
217-359-2255. You can always text in the Fisher National Wake text line. One more. I'll have to play the Joe Rogan next hour. This is Elizabeth Warren on CNBC and talking about why Mamdani, you're going to have rich people move out of New York.
You mentioned Mamdani, and you are in New York, sort of speaking in behalf of him to a certain extent. I wonder, though, often we see this, and this is a local election. New York does not operate in a vacuum. It competes with other cities. And so this idea of somehow raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers, who, by the way, I would point out, pay roughly 15% of their income right now between city and state. Raising taxes on them will simply drive them away. Shouldn't the focus of a mayor be on delivering services to the constituents of the city and doing that by raising the most revenue as possible without chasing businesses and the high-income taxpayers out of the city? Because they can go to Austin, they can go to Dallas, they can go to Atlanta, they can go to Nashville. This is your issue. It's a national issue, not a local issue.
The issue is affordability. Do you know how many working families are chased out of New York City every day because they can't afford housing, they can't afford groceries, they can't afford child care? What Zoran is saying is, I want people to be able to afford to live in New York City. That's what keeps it a vibrant city. That's what makes people want to live
Nobody
here.
disagrees with that, Senator, but raising taxes in order to do it? Why is that the answer?
Oh, dear. Are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry?
No, I'm worried that they're going to leave and spend their money elsewhere.
They've threatened to do that over and over and over.
And they have. They've left.
But here's the thing.
And Goldman Sachs, when they create new jobs, they do it in Dallas. And Blackstone won't build a new headquarters. And go on and on.
You want to have a workable city. You want to have a city that's vibrant. You want to have a city where the streets are full, where there are things for sale 24 hours a day. Then you need people who can live here and work here.
Well, we've got that right now, by the way. I would point out New York is thriving. So now it's doing pretty well, actually.
I'm glad you think they're doing well, because a lot of people are struggling to pay for housing. A lot of people are struggling to pay for groceries. And I got to tell you, Mama's Care.
Those are national issues. I mean, I know they are the local state, but you can't.
New York City.
Yes, but if you deal with them in that way, by what is always your backup, just tax them more, they will leave.
This is the direction of this party. I mean, they are gaining momentum. The guy might be mayor of.
I don't know how much momentum they're getting. There's no question that the difficulty in terms of the let's just say working American to pay to live in New York is not quite fair. But what this guy's saying, your solution to just raise taxes on billionaires, that's the worst thing you can do, because they're the ones that could raise the wages if they have more competition and more businesses. The government, what Bombani really wants to do, because he said it, is seize control of production. Okay, that'd be pure socialism. Yikes. You have your quotas. Here's what your job's going to be. Here's what you can make. Here's what you're going to get paid. So you can't raise anyone. You have to lower everyone to the same level. That's an absolute disaster we've seen across the globe, what happens with that system, and it's misery. And that's where he's going. And you can take the progressive problem is they are leveraging the struggling masses, but in 2025 United States, our struggling masses are some of the richest people who've ever lived, literally. Because with the struggling masses under the Tsar or China with Mao, they couldn't get food to eat. And I know you're struggling to pay groceries. I remember Mom struggling to pay for groceries. We didn't have, and you couldn't buy anything you wanted. That you could say that's struggle, but we were fine.
Right.
Steve, we probably could lose some weight, by the way.
Yeah, we probably could. All right, ESPN 93.5, your weather this morning with our meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and a couple of spotty showers and thunderstorms over parts of the area yesterday. Boy, some of those slow-moving storms brought some drenching rainfall on a county or two south of Champaign and across into parts of southwest Indiana near the Wabash. In any event, may see another repeat of that here later on this afternoon and evening time in a couple of spots. Otherwise, seasonal warmth, a little pickup on humidity. Hot and humid weather to start off the weekend. A cold front of the move will bring temperature and humidity levels down early next week. Rain chances slowly increase to 40% during the later morning and afternoon. Partly sunny skies in between, a shower or thunderstorm breaking out. The high around 84. Down tonight to a low of 65 with an evening shower threat, then becoming fair in the overnight. For the day tomorrow, partly cloudy, up around 85. Sunshine a bit more humid at 86 on Thursday. Getting hot and humid close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Monday. Temperatures with lower humidity into early next week. Back down into the low to mid 80s. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
All right,
it's bulldoggybag.com.
Bulldoggybag.com. I see them all over town now. I mean, they are all over. The doggy bags are all over. Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro Veterinarian, how are you today?
We're doing good, Stevie. I'm coffeeed up and ready to go to work.
Well, here's the deal. So we have fleas and ticks and stuff. So what's sweeping your whole area now? What's going on?
Well, you know, we've talked a lot about all the new yearly injectable and everything and the damage that ticks can do, but we seldom have talked about what fleas can do. And I've got a case right now that kind of woke me up and say, hey, I haven't had this in a while, but fleas, if the infestation is bad enough and your cat is older and more frail or a kitten, can actually be sucked to dry of blood and become very anemic. And I've even had patients die from that. They can get to the point of needing transfusion. So there's another aspect of this flea tick situation we hadn't talked about.
So it's anemia, essentially, then, right?
Yeah, they to lay eggs, the fleas get on and bite and take blood. They have a blood meal and use that to lay eggs. Well, I saw a kitty yesterday, an older kitty, and it's covered in these little black flecks. And it's an outdoor kitty, and it spent a lot of time outside, but it was weak. And so she brought in, the gums were pale, and ran a CBC on them, and lo and behold, low on red blood cells. That's because the body can't make them fast enough to feed all these fleas. So there's another point about making sure you got good parasite control on your critters.
Yeah. And
worms can suck blood from the inside, in the intestines.
Yeah.
So all these parasites are living off your pet. So the good flea, tick, and heartworm and GI worm control helps get a healthy pet.
Okay, and we've got, if you missed the last few weeks, we now have a shot that'll take care of ticks and fleas for a year.
Yep, 1 year. So we're it's selling well. It's no reactions at all in anybody I've seen so far, which is always good to see. It's not it doesn't seem to be causing a reaction at all. So it's a good addition to our tool bag.
Awesome. Okay, Dr. Todd Likens, PetPro, how can you be reached today?
Well, Miss Taylor's already been on it for a while. She's caught up on texting, so you'll probably get a quick response. 217-355-5051.
All right, my friend. Good talking to you. Talk soon.
See you guys.
Dr. Todd Likens, PetPro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign.
Our text line, 217-359-2255, where Marty made the comment of Illinois, where everything is a sanctuary.
Yeah.
And Angel had texted in about ABC Heating and AC, taking up on some of the commercials that we run and different offers. Tomorrow we're getting a new AC unit installed. You can't beat that service from ABC.
Oh, good.
Great folks.
No, Mike and Gina and their family run ABC over 50 years now for ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Yeah, terrific. Okay, we got the news coming up. I want to play the Joe Rogan on his description of the far left. Seems pretty logical, and, I had to edit it, of course.
Well, one thing I will say, back to Mamdani and the socialist regime and how it has to work, the most important thing is you really just don't have your personal freedoms. You don't have any property to defend because it all belongs to the state. That's socialism. It's the idea is make everybody equal. To do that, to average that down, taking money away from the rich won't necessarily, there's not enough to make everybody rich.
No.
So everybody has to be at a level they don't want. And then you can't really object to it because it's for the greater good.
What does it do to the human? Demotivating.
It's very demotivating.
We're not going to be innovative.
It's not a free society.
And isn't everything based on godless? I mean, Marxism, communism, it's godless.
That's what it appears to me. It all evolves to that because let me tell you what, you can read about the socialist regime and they did some horrific
Why do we not
things.
lean on how it's worked before? Now they're yelling, well, the Nordic countries are very good. Denmark, they have like five people living there. I mean, it's a lot different when it's 10 million versus 350 million.
And they can spread it. They have enough money with only 3 or 4 million people to have a pretty good lifestyle spreading the money around.
Yep.
But it's still not as nice as having incentive to sky's the limit and freedom to own your own property and other things. And it can work with a smaller group. We've always said it should be most power in the towns, second is the state, third is the feds.
No,
and
I agree.
It's upside down.
The news will be next. We got a whole nother hour to go. 217-359-2255. You want to text us this morning. A lot of coming in. Happy to get your thoughts on all this stuff about gerrymandering and Governor Pritzker housing those that have a warrant out for their arrest from Texas. All that'll be coming up in the next hour. Stand by. ESPN 93.5, 758.
The Champaign Parks Foundation invites you to join them for their third annual Ties and Tinnies Gala on Thursday, September 4th at the iHotel. This fundraising gala combines formality with fun to celebrate the meaningful impact of parks and recreation in the city of Champaign. This year's event is headlined by Fighting Illini women's basketball coach Shauna Green. Attendees can also expect drinks, a plated dinner, a silent auction, and more. Help the Champaign Parks Foundation reach its fundraising goal of $125,000. Get more details now at champaignparks.org.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
They are still out of state. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Democratic Texas lawmakers who took trips to blue states to block a vote in the legislature on a Republican congressional redistricting plan. Governor Greg Abbott tells Fox.
Texas has a right to redraw these lines to fully represent the desires of every voter in the state.
He's threatening to send police to arrest the Democrats to bring them back to Texas as New York and California make threats of their own to do their own redistricting.
California's draft plan has not been made public, but the Associated Press reports that it could boost the Democratic margin in 48 of the state's 52 congressional seats. Democrats currently hold 43 of those seats. Texas lawmakers began redrawing the congressional maps after President Trump said last month that he wanted Texas to create 5 additional Republican seats in order to help the GOP hold on to the House in the 2026 midterm elections.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. 2 days before new U.S. tariffs take effect on imports from dozens of countries, President Trump just told CNBC he might make a change for India.
We settled on 25%, but I think I'm going to raise that very substantially over the next 24 hours because they're buying Russian oil. They're fueling the war machine.
But oil prices have fallen the past few days, and the president also says that could harm Russian leader Vladimir Putin's war machine in Ukraine.
Putin will stop killing people if you get energy down another $10 a barrel. He's going to have no choice because his economy stinks.
The president's given Russia a Friday deadline to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face new economic sanctions. Security officials in Israel will meet today amid reports of a plan to escalate the war against Hamas and then occupy Gaza, where Palestinians say more people were killed today and continued attacks near food distribution sites. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a social media video, called allegations that Israel is starving Palestinian children lies, saying they've sent in tons of food.
In the last few months, that food has not been reaching the Palestinian civilians because Hamas is stealing it.
America's listening to Fox News.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Well, also in that TV interview President Trump just did, he said he was happy to hear his attorney general ramping up an investigation into what he's called the Russia hoax, adding that the Obama administration deserves the new scrutiny.
A spokesperson for the Department of Justice says Attorney General Pam Bondi believes there is a clear cause for deep concern following a criminal referral from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard declassified intelligence material last month accusing former President Obama and top administration officials of trying to undermine President Trump's 2016 election win by manipulating intelligence assessments about Russian election interference. Fox News Digital reports Bondi ordered a federal prosecutor to initiate legal proceedings and present evidence to a grand jury to secure a potential indictment. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Now to more election controversy, but not here, in Brazil.
The U.S. State Department condemning a Brazilian Supreme Court order placing former President Jair Bolsonaro under house arrest for breaking a social media ban as he awaits trial for allegedly masterminding a coup plot to stay in office despite his 2022 election defeat. The Supreme Court justice in the case has been sanctioned by the Trump administration for human rights violations, and this latest order further escalates tensions between South America's largest economy and the U.S., which has hit Brazil with 50% tariffs, citing, among other things, its treatment of Trump ally Bolsonaro. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
We have an update on how all the tariffs are affecting trade. A new government report just out showing the U.S. trade deficit shrank slightly in June to $60.2 billion, the lowest since September 2023. And part of that, a nearly 4% drop in imports, far bigger than a small decline in American exports in that month. On Wall Street, stock futures not moving much before the opening bell. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Several Texas Democrats in Illinois after fleeing their home state in protest. Governor Pritzker arranged for roughly 40 Texas lawmakers to stay in Illinois for a week in efforts to derail Republicans' plan to redistrict the Lone Star State. Governor says the group of Texas Dems held a news conference saying they're fighting back against the administration's efforts to rig the system. Several residents displaced after an apartment fire in Champaign. Just before 9 last Friday in the 3700 block of Colleen Drive. Fire there responded, had it out within an hour. 2 units were impacted. At least one person hurt. It follows a single vehicle rollover on northbound I-57 in Champaign Monday afternoon between Interstate 72 and 74. Illinois State Police say only one car was involved and it rolled over. There was no word on injuries. The police and fire continue to investigate. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
ESPN 93.5. We're into the second hour. ESPN 93.5 with our meteorologist Greg Solier, and we are noting that 3 weeks from Friday, and you predicted warm, which is a good solid prediction, I guess, for late August. So 3 weeks from Friday, we play football.
Who do we cook off the football season with, by the way?
The Leathernecks of Western Illinois.
That's right. 6:30 on Friday, August 29th.
Aren't there Leathernecks like a military thing?
Yeah, like a Marine.
Marine, okay. Leatherneck.
Like a Marine, yeah.
And I said, they're going to come in.
Like beating down on the back of the neck.
They'll come in and get what? They'll get $500,000 to play, something like that, maybe $800,000, whatever the number is, but you're not supposed to compete. So you come in, clap, good job, good game, and we win 40-10. That's what it should. That's what it should be. Sometimes these smaller schools get the idea that we can compete with you. Now that's not the plan.
So it's like a fundraiser then.
Well, listen, it's a huge boost for a smaller program. Where we are, everybody is kind of a minor leaguer now in the state besides Illinois. Maybe
sometimes they don't tell the players that's what's expected.
Exactly.
And things happen.
Get off the bus. Here's your check. Just like do your thing and take your bus ride home. But
just
don't
like the NIU Notre Dame thing last year.
Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois has traditionally been extraordinarily good at football. And but what's happening now, and that's just the way it's going to be, the new deal is that anybody good at Northern or Western or Eastern
they're
or
going to jump ship, right?
They're going to go for the money.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the Southern Illinois guy. We had Marcus Damask and then the star at Purdue, left Southern, went to Purdue and Illinois. Both had outstanding years for both teams, went deep in the tournament, and the Southern coach got fired. It's just like, dang, I lost my 2 seniors and I get fired.
Well, the system allows, though, Greg, for a Northern or a Western, if they have a very rich alum, which I'm going to say they do.
I don't think so. No,
I think they do.
I think they might, but they won't get the exposure. It
doesn't matter if they get the players; they're going to get the exposure.
But if the kid wants to go to the league, you want to be seen.
Well, if you get enough money, why would you want to go to the league? You already got it. So
you might get more.
The point is there is really no limit right now, and you can just buy a team, and some unknown school, I think, will do that, and they'll start beating, getting a game where they get paid $1 million, and then they go beat Alabama. It's going to be, it'll just be exposure all across the board.
But now there's supposed to be limits. Now you're capped at like $22 million for Illinois or something. But Brett Bielema said that there are now $40 million college teams. So how are they doing that?
No, the limit is always that's always got an asterisk, Greg. It's kind of like there's a limit on what you can donate to a political candidate.
Right. It's like almost like a triple A minor league to get into the pros, right? That's the way, if you're going to throw the money part of this into it, right?
Yeah. Right. No, it's a big difference there too. All right, let's check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, what say you?
Well, a beautiful morn underway. Sunshine, couple of clouds, and there's a few raindrops down around Terre Haute. They've had some heavy rain southeast of Indianapolis on the overnight hours and had that none too far south and southeast of us down towards Terre Haute and Knox County and Vincennes, Indiana, and maybe east of Charleston, Mattoon, to name a few spots on the I-70 corridor in the Wabash, lower Wabash, yesterday afternoon and evening time. May see that brew up again, maybe not quite the scope there. And here, again, a hiccup of a chance for a shower here for the day today, mainly this afternoon and evening time. Otherwise, seasonal temps, pretty much. Seasonal heat, humidity, rain chances, pretty much as it ought to be for early August here in East Central Illinois. 72 degrees out the door this morning, 67 at Rantoul, same at Danville, 68 at Bloomington Normal. Forecast high for the day today should top out at around about 84. Light east wind, the rain chance if you're scoring at home, about 30 to 40% more as you venture east and south of Champaign proper. Down tonight with that evening shower threat to 65 and fair skies in the overnight. Tomorrow partly cloudy, warm, 85 and a light east southeasterly wind into the mid 60s tomorrow night. A little more humidity creep in for the day on Thursday. Sunshine at 86. We'll flirt with 90 Friday and Saturday. Thunderstorm chances increase late Sunday into Monday with temperatures in the middle and upper 80s. Just slightly cooler, drier air with readings still close to seasonal norms mid next week with highs still into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Pleasure. ESPN 93.5. Joe Rogan was talking about, the far left. Mm-hmm. And I think Joe Rogan, common sense guy. He really is. Kind of thought to be a Democrat, but now he was a Bernie guy. And then they dropped Bernie. He was a Bernie bro. But he was so impressed with his Trump interview. And one thing he was really impressed about, Donald Trump came in there, sat down, 3 hours later left, and never went to the bathroom. 79-year-old man. So.
Well, I'll tell you, he got a lot of notoriety for that interview,
too. He did.
And Trump was impressed with Joe. So it worked
well.
Pretty good.
All right, so here's Joe Rogan talking about the wackiness of the left.
The weirdest thing to me is that we're in this complete shifting of the polls where the Republicans now are in favor of free speech. The Republicans want to end the wars. They want to stop contributing to foreign countries. They want comedy to be comedy again. They don't want restrictions on people's behavior and thinking.
Yeah.
And the Democrats have developed this sort of like cult-like idea of what everyone should accept and what's normal and what's not normal and what needs to be elevated in our population and what needs to be ignored. And it's just like, God, you're ruining it for everybody that thinks in a left way. Like anybody who's reasonable, like a reasonable left-thinking person, which is most artists, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
And then you get to this point where you're like, no, I can't go along with you on all these things.
Yeah.
You guys you're just a bunch of fools who are using these subjects as a way where you can behave incredibly uncharitable, like vicious, mean, ostracizing people from society. I don't want any part of you. I don't want any part of the way you guys think and behave. And you to pretend that you're doing it for good, you're gluing yourself to the wall for climate change. You're just a nut. You're just a crazy, entitled nut in your society. Yeah. This is not the way that people should be behaving. And I can't believe it makes people go to the other. And the Republicans are smarter about it now in this day and age because they're like, hey, we'll take you in. Hey, it's fine. Come over to us. You could say whatever you want. Comedy's back.
That's Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's he's kind of on point because he's an example of what he's talking about, which is kind of a moderate left-leaner who's just been driven away from the Democrats, not the progressives, because the progressives took over the Democratic Party. So the moderate Democrats are losing their leverage. They've got to go along with these people, or they've got to find something else to do.
But they see the polling. 63% have an unfavorable of Democrats. That's horrible. I mean, aren't they? Why don't they say, well, what's going on here? Or do they say, that's just a bad poll?
I don't know. And a lot of the funding is for this kind of progressive movement, so that's a problem because big money, like Soros, is far, far left, and he's got a huge influence on the party. But there's plenty of money that they could do other things with, and that's really the future of American politics depends on how this battle ends.
It's a big battle, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really
and within the Democratic Party,
Yeah.
the Republicans, he said they're smarter. Okay, they're smarter because they're just watching.
Yeah,
it's like Kennedy.
Well, what Kennedy
My
said.
buddy, he says, well, it's hard to offer any advice when you're seeing your opponent just kick his own ass.
Classic Senator Kennedy stuff. All right, it's a good one. I'll play this again because it's a good one.
Yes, St. Louis beating the LA Dodgers 3-2. Let's get the Redbird recap.
Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and what an amazing night at Dodger Stadium for the Cardinals. Sonny Gray, 7 innings with just 1 hit, 1 run allowed. The Cardinals got home runs from Mason Wynn, Ivan Herrera, and a big pinch hit from Joel Pozo in the 9th.
Pozo won a game with a pinch home run at Wrigley Field. He's known for putting the ball in play. And on 2-0 from Brock Stewart, the pitch. Pozo swings, base hit right center. The Cardinals lead. Hampson scores. Nootbaar makes third. 3-2 Cardinals in the 9th.
2 great plays by Nootbaar. Diving catch on the line that took a hit away from Mookie Betts. And Ohtani was left on base. So was Will Smith, as JoJo Romero got the last out.
A lot of good experience for a lot of the good young Cardinal players at Dodger Stadium last night. A terrific ball game, and the Cardinals came out on top.
The Cardinals tonight are going with right-hander Miles Michaelis. We're on the air at 8:15.
All right, we had the Cubs lose to Cincinnati 3-2. People who haven't been updated, your son-in-law is not with the Cincinnati Reds anymore.
Nope.
Had a brief hop in Seattle with the Mariners organization, but it's now under the Houston Astros organization.
Currently in Sugar Land, Texas, playing for the Space Cowboys, which I think is the best nickname going.
Some people call me the Space Cowboy.
I think that was recent. Everybody that I've talked to in Texas thought it was like the Skeeters.
Okay, I don't know.
They changed it. Maybe I'll find out. We'll ask Jacob. Maybe he'll know.
Well, the Skeeters isn't necessarily an attractive name.
No, well, there are a lot of mosquitoes.
I know that,
right.
But you're swatting at them all the time. Cincinnati over the Cubs 3-2. Let's see what happens with Shoto Imanaga on the mound. 7:05 over on US 105.
Milwaukee has a 3-game lead now on the Cubs, and if you look at the wild card race, which is probably certainly an option for the Cubbies, the Cubs are leading the wild card by 3.5 games. There's 3 spots. And currently the Cardinals are now 5.5 behind that third spot, where Cincinnati and San Diego, the Mets and the Cubs ahead in the wild card. But the Cubs have the best chance at this point to make the playoffs. But with the extra wild card in there, you're competing in September, which was the idea.
Well, plus if Milwaukee's leading, then they're not going to go anywhere. So one of those wild cards will get in because they just never go in. They're always doing this. And where do they go? Come on. Brewers? Now, I'm not going to switch to be a Brewer fan, but I'm going to keep my eye on it.
Right, for sure. And they've got games against Atlanta, so I feel like that's a winnable game.
Atlanta's not real good,
Right. So Milwaukee at 68 wins right now.
Best record in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers.
I got to tell you, by the way, Milwaukee's a nice city. I spent some time with your son Benjamin, who's in Milwaukee, and it's really
her
nice.
daughter Gabby's in Milwaukee,
and
John.
a nice airport. So you've been up there.
Oh
John,
yeah,
it's
and a great sports town too.
General something airport, General somebody.
not only was stunned, but I kind of hate to admit it. It's a pretty
It's really nice city.
Absolutely.
No, it is.
Absolutely. And the lake is right there too. And you're really, 45 minutes from Chicago, and you can take the train in. I mean, there's all kinds
And
of
you can
good
drive
things
down to Lake Geneva, which is a great place.
How far is Lake Geneva?
45 minutes.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
It's
Wisconsin's
terrific.
a nice state. Yeah.
And Gabby really enjoys her job with Kohl's. The corporate office is up there. Chicago White Sox are in Seattle with the 6:40 start. We're seeing some preseason watch lists for some of our Illini. The Walter Camp Player of the Year, one of 22 of the quarterbacks, is from Illinois with Luke Altmaier. And the Patrick Manley Award, which kind of selects someone who's kind of a pro, maybe special teams. Our snapper Lane Hansen is one of 30 on that list. Of course, we made number 12 in the preseason coaches poll for USA Today, and we've got Western Illinois 6:30 on Friday, August 29th.
You have one syllable in your ranking, you're pretty good. That's
12.
pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Love it.
All right, here we go. Our weather meteorologist Greg Solier at 8:19.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Pretty easy to take, manageable mid-summertime weather pattern over the next several days. Had some rainfall and pretty healthy rainfall, but areas to the southeast of Champaign County yesterday near the Wabash and the I-70 corridor. Already some moisture breaking out there. Spotty coverages for the day-to-day and more or less seasonal temperatures. A brief warm-up slated over the front part of the weekend. A slight cool down behind it and just a scattering of moisture early next week as well. And we may pop still a stray late morning and afternoon shower thunderstorm for the day-to-day. Again, best coverage is east and south of Champaign in particular, up to 84 light easterly wind. Stray shower threat this evening, becoming fair in the overnight down to 65. Tomorrow partly cloudy seasonal. Light east to southeast wind sets in for the afternoon at 85. A bit more humidity, 86 with sunshine Thursday, up close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms late Sunday, Monday. Moving on Tuesday, high temperatures into the 80s. For CVJ Broadcasting Meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The U.S. trade deficit narrowed in June to $60.2 billion. The drop is more than expected. Both imports and exports were lower in the month. May's reading was revised slightly higher. Wall Street is seeing optimism returning with growing confidence the Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates. President Trump says former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh and National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett are among 4 people being considered to chair the Fed. He didn't name the other 2, but says Scott Bessent is not interested in leaving his position as Treasury Secretary. Palantir, the data analytics company, reported an upbeat quarter. Shares are up 7%. Marriott International has lowered expectations after a strong quarter. The stock's down 1.5%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
I'm Benjamin Hall, Fox News senior correspondent and New York Times best-selling author, and I'm searching for heroes. Every Monday, I'll speak with a few silent but noteworthy heroes, everyday people who illuminate stories of compassion and are true embodiments of heroism. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, Searching for Heroes with Benjamin Hall, wherever you download podcasts, and please leave a rating and a review.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Command Center.
Paul, we have extreme heat warning. Summer 2025 is a hot one in Champaign-Urbana.
That's trouble for garage refrigerators.
One just went down in Rantoul. They need delivery right away, Paul.
Put them on for tomorrow. What's going on down here in Fisher?
It's a window air conditioner going out.
Can't have that. Good thing we deliver and install window ACs. We have plenty in stock.
Garage freezer NB man. Customer wants a technician out right away. She's afraid her beef is thawing.
Hate it when that happens. We have a tech in the area. Send Nate right over.
Copy that.
Team, it's like we talk about. At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, we know what hot weather can do to home appliances. More importantly, we're always ready for the heat with fast, friendly repair service and delivery, plus the largest selection of appliances in Champaign-Urbana.
Paul, customer in Muhammad, needs a portable dehumidifier ASAP. Says his tools are rusting out from the humidity.
That can happen. We have dehumidifiers for pickup or fast delivery. Remember, at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you get the whole store.
Wow!
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Johnny's travel tips: take the first flight out in the morning and go nonstop. That's pretty much the two big items.
Well, the first flight, because everybody's on schedule, Steve, ready to go. Let's go. By about 10:30, it's over. You know, there's a storm in Savannah, and then there's also some issues with fog up in Seattle, and now all airlines are affected. Whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Through the day, especially summer, through the afternoon, and yeah, you can stay on schedule. You just have to get up early. Get up early, Steve. And
today would have been Lonnie Anderson's 80th
how about
birthday.
That? Lonnie Anderson, WKRP in Cincinnati, passed away at 79.
Right. She's with Burt now.
That's right, Burt Reynolds.
That's
Apparently, they
right.
made peace at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was good. Burt
It was
Reynolds
a
and
little
Lonnie
wacky.
Anderson, were they married?
I think so.
I think so too.
Was
but known for her work as WKRP in Cincinnati's receptionist.
This is just listening now for the 65 plus. But was Lee Majors married to Farrah Fawcett?
I thought so.
I thought so too.
Farrah Fawcett Majors. Yeah, okay, Farrah Fawcett Majors.
Yeah.
But Farrah Fawcett was, remember how popular she was in the late 70s?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, that's Charlie's
Early
Angel.
70s. Charlie's
Everybody
Angel.
had that red swimsuit.
But so was Lee
Outfit.
Majors, a bionic
On the
man.
poster.
You know?
Lee Majors was, his arm was all bionic,
Yeah. Now we have bionic people.
Yeah, and now none of us can name a TV show that's currently on. So
I know.
remember the Happy Days and All in the Family? You knew all the
loved
shows
it.
because you had 3 channels. 4 if you count PBS.
No, that is true. And it was interesting because we had that common bond with everybody who saw at least one of the same shows you watched. And now I got no idea. Steve, there's thousands.
I know.
Thousands.
I just
Lonnie Anderson was with Burt Reynolds from 88 to 94. The two were married.
Amazingly, I can't remember ever seeing a full episode of WKRP in Cincinnati.
Is
I was
that
I
right?
don't ever remember.
I just love.
I know
that
it was really
movie.
good
Show.
back in the day. Yeah.
My colleague Patri Ellen was on that show.
That's right, Johnny Fever's daughter.
She was my dance partner in West Side Story here in Champaign at the theater with the Rick Orr.
Station Theater. Johnny and I starred in that play. We were both Puerto Rican gang members.
We were probably going to move up, but then our careers
stopped.
I was in the first CUTC Hello Dolly.
Okay.
I was a background actor, and I did 2 or 3 different scenes in different outfits. So I was having a blast because I love my stage time. Of course, even if it's background, I just love being on stage. But I saw CUTC's Beautiful with the Carole King story.
Oh boy, I'd like that show.
Terrific.
I would have liked that show because it's all Carole King music. Just do Tapestry and play it all day.
Unbelievable.
Okay, that's your 65 plus segment. Thank you for listening. We will jump on to this break in the news and.
Well, I will say for our 65 plus audience, I was at the camps with the middle schoolers who were still singing Sweet Caroline.
How about that?
Okay.
Yes.
How about that?
Okay, what about that?
Well, sure, they play it at the stadium.
But how do you
Caroline?
I play it
they're
every
11 years old.
I know,
12 years
but you
old.
got to think Neil Diamond from 1967. How does that happen socially? How does something catch on?
I don't know.
Because of the stadiums and the things they play
but
during
even,
the games.
even then
Why are
they
they
get
playing that? Who? Why? Yeah.
Who started
I agree
that?
with Steve. How could that keep going?
How can the pet rock sell a
We
zillion?
DJs who know the pulse of this is a song.
Yeah, but
that
who's
has
to
legs.
say they like it? How do you don't do any polling? I mean, but how do you pull out a 1960s song and have it to an 11-year-old in 2025?
Well, I probably shouldn't say this, but 60s and 70s is probably the best music.
I'm telling you, it was great
Now,
music.
I don't think anything will last like Mozart, Beethoven. That's hundreds of years. I don't know
The
if
Beatles are hanging
maybe?
in there. And that's that whole era, not just like Tapestry. All of that's still going.
I like to tell, that's real music, kids. That's just I don't know what I can't hear it, so turn it down.
But the groups nowadays, no idea. What it doesn't have the legs that classic.
It's not
obviously.
to us, certainly.
Good to keep that in the 65 plus. Thank you for listening. The news is next. Final segment coming up. ESPN 93.5.
Now at Jets, order any 3-topping pizza and get $5 off. Just use promo code 3TOP when ordering. That's the number 3 TOP. Want to impress family and friends and spend less? Get creative and build your own 3-topping pizza with their favorites. Available in deep dish, thin crust, New York style, or hand toss round. Any 3-topping Jets pizza for $5 off with promo code 3TOP. It's a deal. Jets, better because it has to be.
I'm Therese Crowley. Texas roundup. Governor Greg Abbott ordering the arrest of 50 Democrat state lawmakers who fled the state to avoid a special session over redrawing election maps to reflect 2 million new residents.
Coalition districts are not required. And so Texas has a right to redraw these lines to fully represent the desires of every voter in the state.
Democrats stand to lose 5 congressional seats. New York Governor Kathy Hochul calls it legal insurrection, but Republicans know Democrats do the same gerrymandering when they're in power. 3,000 Boeing aerospace workers on strike in Illinois and Missouri.
There's a lot of feeling of disrespect that it comes with between management and the employees. That's a fact.
Machinist Earl Schussler, they build fighter jets. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy unveils a new rule to unleash what he calls American drone dominance. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Several residents displaced after an apartment fire in Champaign. It broke out just before 9 last Friday in the 3700 block of Colleen Drive. Fire there responded, had it out within an hour. 2 units were impacted. At least one person hurt. It follows a single vehicle rollover on northbound I-57 in Champaign Monday afternoon between Interstate 72 and 74. Illinois State Police say only one car was involved and it rolled over. There was no word on injuries. The police and fire continue to investigate. Several Texas Democrats in Illinois after fleeing their home state in protest. Governor Pritzker arranged for roughly 40 Texas lawmakers to stay in Illinois for a week in efforts to derail Republicans' plan to redistrict the Lone Star State. Governor says the group of Texas Dems held a news conference saying they're fighting back against the administration's efforts to rig the system. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Check your weather, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Play days in the park are coming your way. Thursday, August 7th at Blair Park. If you want to tap into that, it's free, all ages and abilities, lots of options. Face paint, popcorn, new friends, bike repairs, activities and equipment. 5:30 to 7 on Thursday, August 7th. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, what do we see? What do we got? Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Pretty easy to take, manageable mid-summertime weather pattern over the next several days. Had some rainfall and pretty healthy rainfall, but areas to the southeast of Champaign County yesterday near the Wabash and the I-70 corridor. Already some moisture breaking out there. Spotty coverages for the day-to-day and more or less seasonal temperatures. A brief warm-up slated over the front part of the weekend. A slight cool down behind it and just a scattering of moisture early next week as well. And we may pop still a stray late morning and afternoon shower thunderstorm for the day-to-day. Again, best coverage is east and south of Champaign in particular, up to 84 light easterly wind. Stray shower threat this evening, becoming fair in the overnight down to 65. Tomorrow partly cloudy, seasonal light east to southeast wind sets in for the afternoon at 85. A bit more humidity, 86 with sunshine Thursday, up close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms late Sunday, Monday. Moving on Tuesday, high temperatures into the 80s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Champaign Parks Foundation invites you to join them for their third annual Ties and Tinnies Gala on Thursday, September 4th at the iHotel. This fundraising gala combines formality with fun to celebrate the meaningful impact of parks and recreation in the city of Champaign. This year's event is headlined by Fighting Illini women's basketball coach Shauna Green. Attendees can also expect drinks, a plated dinner, a silent auction, and more. Help the Champaign Parks Foundation reach its fundraising goal of $125,000. Get more details now at champaignparks.org.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, ESPN 93.5. We are into kind of the last segment. The Drive returns August 18. We'll cover the Illini. Jay Lehman is returning, so we'll have Jay's Mondays. We're excited to have Jay Lehman back 3 to 4, and then repeated again 5 to 6 on Mondays with the former All-American linebacker from the University of Illinois.
Sweet.
Always fired up Jay Lehman. I mean, everybody I talk to has the Illini at 10, 11, and 12 wins, which would be wonderful. That's a really tall deal, but let's get it. Let's get it done. Ohio State coming into town on October whatever. It's
do we have to play Michigan as well?
Nope.
Okay.
No Michigan this year. We already beat them, kind of put them in their place last year.
That was great.
That was the best win of the century for me.
It was one of the
2000s.
Well, 2000s, yeah.
2000s.
Yeah,
Number one, beating Michigan at a home. And they went, and I told Josh Whitman, I said, you put it all out there a year ahead. And I'm going, why are you doing Michigan on this big day? We don't beat Michigan. put on the Red Grange uniforms. Will we ever see those again? Because I liked them.
Oh, so great. The weather was great,
Perfect.
and we ended up beating the stinking
Michigan.
Wolverines.
No, that was...
And I was on the field with
You
my
were
old,
down there,
like
19s.
Danny Beaver
Yeah.
I
and
did
Jeff
too.
Goldberg, my old football
No,
buddies.
that's right.
That was quite a day of football.
Right. It
Michigan.
was.
And that's my number one team I want to be.
I know it. Now, in the preseason poll, they're at number 14. Of course, we talked about Illinois and this USA Today coaches poll preseason ranking of number 12, which is great. But Indiana is number 19. And we talked yesterday about how we're in Bloomington, and that's sold out on September 20th.
Yep. Well, and then my hope would be to be relevant in the playoff picture when Ohio State comes to town. That's like 5 games in. So to only like 4-1, I think we'd all probably say 4-1 would be
Okay.
We
We want 5-0.
Okay.
But as far as the Indiana, that's what we call in the business looking ahead.
Yeah.
You're looking
That's
past
right.
some teams. There's
True.
3
No,
games
that's right.
before
No,
that.
that's
Yes, we
right.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it's and then I would hope that we're right there, and Ohio State comes in, and there's a lot on the line because we might get game day. We've never had game day here doing their studio show outside in Grange Grove.
It's going to be Hall of Fame weekend,
Yeah.
Hell to the Orange Out Day, October 11th.
And the other side of that is if we have any apathy at all by then, and hopefully not disappointment, all that stuff, and we're all 5-0 and wonderful. Otherwise, we'll have half of Columbus here because they eat up tickets because they can't get tickets in Columbus for 110,000 seats. They can't get tickets. There's 1 million people in Columbus now. So they want to come to Champaign. It's easy drive, and they know they're going
that's true.
We don't want all the red here because that's what happens. They infiltrate like Nebraska travels well. So anyway, it is pretty exciting, and it's so fun, and I'll never take it for granted, and neither should you, that we have a world-class institution here with world-class athletics, and you're 7 minutes
Are
from
you
your
sure
driveway.
that Ohio State game isn't already sold out on our end? For heaven's sakes. Come on, let's go.
I mean,
Not
we
yet.
sold more
Maybe.
season tickets than ever.
It's probably close, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
close. I mean, but again, we're averaging. If you look at actual numbers that the past 10 years at Illinois football, if you look at the actual numbers, there've been days we've had 19,000 turn through the gate. Now they sold 38, but 19 came through the gate in the Northwestern game in November.
Yeah.
Freezing doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
But we have had more season ticket sales, and they've raised the prices and all the stuff you're supposed to donate and all that, and it's really ruffled a few, no question, some feathers. People that I've been loyal. Why do you do that kind of thing? But yeah,
That's
I think
across the nation, by the way.
it is, and as you're successful, you're going to pay more. That's just now you got to be successful. You're not going to be able to maintain that. The Cardinals are charging 15% more for next year's tickets. I wonder if Michael Ducey will keep it. I mean, you're raising the
don't
price, and you don't have a great team this year. So all that
Why
is.
are they rolling that out? Not a good time to do that.
That's called bad timing. But anyway, we'll be very hopeful. We'll cover it heavily here on ESPN 93.5. And again, the Chicago Bears play on Q96.
Yes.
It's a 96.1. And for our friends in the fields that are going to be driving trucks and bringing in the crop, you can't be watching TV Sunday afternoon. You're probably working.
Right.
So you'll hear the game, and you before you couldn't get it out of Chicago. It just didn't come in. So happy to present that and have that with Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer, and they sound great. And there's optimism. The odds, Gary Franks mentioned this morning, the odds of Ben Johnson, the new Bear coach, being coach of the year, are only 7-1. The expectations are high in Chicago for their new coach. Is this the best coach they've hired since Dicka? I don't know.
I'll tell you what can't you bet on, Steve?
I
Think
know.
of something.
You're right.
Oh boy, yeah. No,
But Ben Johnson's only 39.
Wait, what's the odds of? I wonder what's the odds of our Kellen Moore, who's a really good coach, being coach of the year,
At Saints?
and we're ranked 32nd out of 32.
I bet they're pretty good. You probably
I might have to. That's got to be.
Kellen
100
Moore's
to
a good coach. I forgot. Dennis Allen is now with the Bears.
If we should make the playoffs, he'd be coach of the year, and I could win that kind of stupid bet. How do you come up with the odds of someone being coach?
No, I know.
That's
No.
an algorithm you have to.
Player
work
of the
with
year,
some
coach of the
computer.
year, you can bet on everything. And you can now bet in game.
Well, he's young, only 37.
No, he's good.
Yeah.
Well, the Philly offensive coordinator.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Okay.
Philadelphia, the Eagles, are world champions.
I didn't
at
realize
Super Bowl.
all that. If he just had some players.
No,
We've got some players. We
Okay.
don't have a quarterback. So let's
that's
just
kind
see
of
what
kind
happens.
of a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I think if you place like any good quarterback in a city, most of them are going to be pretty successful because Everybody's pretty good at that level, man. I mean,
as long as you have an offensive line, because if you don't, it doesn't matter who's quarterback.
Well, speaking of which, Illinois has all 5 of their offensive linemen back.
Yeah,
all 5.
Yeah, we're returning 18 players this year.
Yeah.
After a 10-win season.
Johnny had suggested that I would be a bad guy to be playing because I'd get in a fetal position.
No, he would collapse. He's got it. He's overhyped already. He's already psyched out. He's actually the poster child of what not to be. I'd have you in the locker room. Do not take this man's attitude.
We can't help it.
It's only a game, and we're the best team.
Yeah.
So let's just go out and play.
Let's go. All right. It's 8:42.
Nate Evans at the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. If someone wants to build their dream home, how can you help them find that perfect property?
Yeah, these are getting tougher and tougher every year. Everybody's looking for specific properties. Maybe it's high character. Maybe there's woods, trees, water, pond, lake. The more that Champaign continues to grow, and some of our rivertown communities offer some of them high character lands, a lot tougher it is to come across these. We have found a huge network of potential sellers and landowners that have told us, hey, if the number makes sense, we'd be willing to sell. And that doesn't always have to be obnoxious. A lot of times that's just timing. We've also found a lot of these parcels, if we get enough demand, that they're willing to chop up and we can subdivide again. I think working with somebody that's familiar and been a part of a lot of these residential subdivision developments, such as ourselves, they'll be aware of the opportunities and the land opportunities for those buyers and be able to partner with the appropriate builders based on their budgets.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Hi, this is Pam Moore with Philo Exchange Bank. Whether you want to do your banking online or you prefer face-to-face interaction with our friendly staff, Philo Exchange Bank delivers banking that helps you reach your personal or business goals. To us, you're not just another face, you're a part of our family. Visit us at any one of our locations in Philo, St. Joseph, Allerton, or Broadlands, and we'll be here to help.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC.
All right, quick jump into some sports.
Yeah, we were talking about tickets. Here's a text. Illinois is in bed with SeatGeek. That's how they're going to pay their NIL.
Well, what's SeatGeek?
That's like a
StubHub?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can buy your seats like StubHub. You go online and pay more because
then you
they
get
offer
a percentage back if that's when you do an online search of how do I get Illinois tickets, and then they're up there.
Well, the good news is the visiting team will pay a lot of that.
No, they will. But what if we're both 5-0? Ohio State comes in both undefeated. Will an Illini fan sell their tickets for $500 each? Eek. That's tempting.
I doubt it. No, not for that. They'll have to pay more than that.
1,000? There's a number.
Now there is a number.
2,000.
But it is.
You can watch it on TV.
Yeah, and you're in the parking lot, and you can hear the crowd and see the fireworks, and you have your free drinks that are in your cooler.
Not supposed to do that. But again, just think if you have good seats for an Ohio State, Illinois undefeated game day in town, and somebody wants to pay you $950 for your 4 tickets each.
Man,
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Is that called scalping, or is that quite legal, or is that okay?
I think you can put it on SeatGeek. It's for the service. I mean, that's how they get away with it. It's the old-fashioned scalping.
But if I did it, is that okay? Or
yeah, they have. You can sell your own tickets for whatever.
Okay. It's just such a pain now with everything on the phone, because then you're exchanging things with somebody going into the game.
But you get your
the phone
guaranteed money through Venmo or whatever it is.
Right.
Well, but sometimes you might buy fake tickets too, so you have to be careful outside the stadium because that happens.
No,
it's a whole new game without the paper.
We had extra suite tickets of the Cardinals, and some guy. And these suite tickets were $125 each.
Yeah.
And a guy offered me $50 for all 10 of my tickets. I said, excuse me?
Yeah.
I went in the stadium and started going up to people sitting other places and invite them into our suite.
Yeah.
And I had much more joy.
Because then you can actually see who's getting them. It's not a person who might,
Well,
and some of them probably said, get out of here because they thought you were kidding.
No, I got turned down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did get some people going, really?
Yeah.
And they thanked me afterwards. And it was fun to give away stuff like that.
Absolutely.
That was really fun.
St. Louis Cardinals winning over the LA Dodgers. Let's get a Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and what an amazing night at Dodger Stadium for the Cardinals. Sonny Gray, 7 innings with just 1 hit, 1 run allowed. The Cardinals got home runs from Mason Wynn, Ivan Herrera, and a big pinch hit from Joel Pozo in the 9th. Pozo won a game with a pinch home run at Wrigley Field. He's known for putting the ball in play. And on 2-0 from Brock Stewart, the pitch.
Pozo swings, base hit right center. The Cardinals lead. Hampson scores. Nootbaar makes third. 3-2 Cardinals in the ninth.
Two great plays by Nootbaar. Diving catch on the line that took a hit away from Mookie Betts. And Ohtani was left on base. So was Will Smith, as JoJo Romero got the last out.
A lot of good experience for a lot of the good young Cardinal players at Dodger Stadium last night. A terrific ball game, and the Cardinals came out on top.
The Cardinals tonight are going with right-hander Miles Michaelis. We're on the air at 8:15.
Cincinnati beat the Cubs 3-2 yesterday. The games continue. 7:05 start over on US 105.9 on that series. We have the Chicago White Sox starting up a series in Seattle with an 8:40 start. Western Illinois, who the U of I will play at 6:30 on Friday, August 29th. Where preseason lists that we're paying attention to include Luke Altmaier as a Walter Camp Player of the Year award nominee, and Patrick Manley Award for those in the special teams and the like. One of 30 is Lane Henson, our snapper. So go Illini.
Yeah, okay. It'll be fun as we approach. First, Jay Lehman show, by the way, will be August 25. That's Monday before. We're penciled in to go to Pia's on the 28th. And then the football game is the 29th at 6:30.
Yes.
That's a Friday at 6:30. So plan accordingly for all of you tailgaters that like to set up and smoke meat and all that stuff.
Right.
It's a little different on a work day, but again, it's for television, the exposure, the money, all that stuff. We get it. And it's Western Illinois, and hopefully that'll be a game we win easily. And then going to Duke's, game 2 is kind of a big one because Duke was a bowl team last year.
That's right.
Finished 9-4 in the ACC. That's pretty darn good.
Then home against Western Illinois on September 13th.
Michigan.
Western Michigan, yes.
Broncos have beaten us before, so we have got to be real with that one. So
yeah, we were struggling those years, but they did beat us.
Yeah. And we've got the homecoming game on September 27th against USC.
Number one recruiting class in America was USC. Come on, man.
That's right.
They're coming back with Lincoln Riley.
And that Hall of Fame weekend.
USC, does something about that sound odd to you?
Yeah. Big Ten.
USC Big Ten game.
That's right.
I know.
And then conference.
The Hall of Fame weekend, October 11th, is that Ohio State game.
Right, but we have the Indiana game on the road, and we go to
USC is going to be the homecoming weekend.
And then what's the next one?
At Purdue.
Okay, well that's
October
a game
4th.
we should win that game.
That's right.
Win that at Purdue. Yeah.
Why you say that?
A new coach, they're rebuilding. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I heard that last year, and we did win.
We won. Okay. And the guy who made the sack at Nebraska to win the game made the sack.
Yeah, I know. There's a fourth down sack in overtime.
I think he got hurt, and he's back.
Oh, wow.
Is that Matthew Bailey? I think that might be Matthew Bailey, the safety. So I don't know. I just
Oh, I don't know about that, Steve.
I got to win.
I got to just watch in my closet.
Yeah, you've got to just chill.
Exactly.
We check your weather one more time. Brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, if you're looking for that sports or back-to-school physical at a location near you, just simply visit carl.org.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Benton vicinity, and a couple of spotty showers and thunderstorms over parts of the area yesterday. Well, some of those slow-moving storms brought some drenching rainfall in a county or two south of Champaign and across into parts of southwest Indiana near the Wabash. In any event, may see another repeat of that here later on this afternoon and evening time in a couple of spots. Otherwise, seasonal warmth, a little pickup on humidity. Hot and humid weather to start off the weekend. A cold front of the move will bring temperature and humidity levels down early next week. Rain chances slowly increase to 40% during the later morning and afternoon. Partly sunny skies in between a shower thunderstorm breaking out, the high around 84. Down tonight to a low of 65, but an evening shower threat then becoming fair in the overnight. For the day tomorrow, partly cloudy, up around 85. Sunshine a bit more humid at 86 on Thursday. Getting hot and humid close to 90 Friday and Saturday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Sunday and Monday. Temperatures with lower humidity into early next week. Back down into the low to mid 80s. For CVG Broadcasting, I'm Ultras, Greg Soldier.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, final segment here, just a couple of minutes left, but it was Dylan Rosiak, not Matthew Bailey.
That sounds like
the sack
the
at
guy.
Nebraska that finished it, and then the sack against Purdue. Well, and then he got hurt, and now he's back for his senior year, so he's coming back.
That's great.
So we got 16 to 18 out of 22 returnees.
Starters, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting.
Well, I mean, that's a big deal. These days, that's not very common.
I don't know. Is Brett Bielema the guy? Is he the guy to really get us in a bowl every year?
Well, I don't know. He sure took Beamer to task. But,
Wow. Was that fun or what? We beat you, South Carolina in the Citrus Bowl, and it got kind of contentious because they ran something where they looked like they were kind of not contesting the return kickoff.
Kind of a fake knee.
It was, but they told the referees it was legal, and our guys kind of stopped, and Brett thought our guys
It was Bush League.
Going to get hurt, and so now they've changed the rule.
Plus, he was substituting on offense to run a different play, which is fine. But then we get to substitute on defense, and it just got Beamer going crazy because he thought we weren't coming in fast enough. But instead of busting our rhythm by not substituting a few plays, he just whined the whole game until he finally ended up just.
What started?
I think it blew his mind.
There was an injury, and Brett went across the field and did this arms out like you did that fake thing, and then you're in my area, and you're doing that to him. So that's when he went nuts.
Yeah, no, he I think Coach Bielema showed. I thought a real good demeanor the whole game.
No, I did.
And coached a heck of a game, and he's done that all his career.
No, listen, he's next level, and we think we have Brett Underwood and Brett Bielema till they're done, because Josh made it very prohibitive financially if anybody tries to take our guy. So it's in the contract. So I think Underwood's going to end here, and I think Bielema will end here without getting fired, which is really great. So excited.
Well, I'm kind of proud, years ago when we started Josh in that orange and blue, and then he went on to become
exactly.
So we're real proud of him.
first I think the first win in Josh Whitman's career was under Johnny and I when we coached the blue team. Actually, it was a drawing, and we got the first team, which is fortuitous.
I thought it was a coin flip.
A coin flip. It was a coin flip, and we won the flip and got the first
destiny.
team. That's destiny. So Josh Whitman was on our team, and the first time Josh Whitman was ever on the radio was with me. So I kind of boosted his mind, kind of helped him.
Someone texted in about prices.
Oh my gosh!
Ticket prices, and it says the average price for the Illinois-Ohio State game is $242.
Wow!
Cheapest seat $124.
Oh,
premium
boy. Hot
seats
stuff.
$759.
All right, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
All right, I'm Stevie J. Have a great Tuesday. Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff, and your secret is what, John?
Well, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all, and you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R, and we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations, and these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us, and it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs, and that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later. So what about the dedicated diesel and the Dixie Chopper?
There are mowers there to be had at the best prices that you'll ever see on an industrial or a residential type mower that carries a bumper-to-bumper warranty on the drivetrain, the whole works. some thousands off. We're gonna move these out, and Andy is the guy to see. 217-328-0562. He'll help you out. If you need service or parts on a Dixie chopper, he's the guy to talk to.
Yep, and this is the fastest lawnmower ever made, so ready to go.
World's fastest mower, Dixie chopper.
That's it.
That's right.
Well, my friend, it is always a pleasure to get your tips on the Pitmaster side and, of course, learn about Gelferix Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, which you are in charge of, sir. So, well done.
Give us that contact information.
Email me at timo@gftlog.com or call me at the office at 765-793-7131 and hit 4 when the auto attendant answers.
When feeling better can't wait, visit Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Convenient locations, hours to fit your schedule, and no appointment necessary. Plus, you don't have to be a Christie Clinic patient. Receive health care when and where you need it with Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Christie Clinic accepts Health Alliance and most other major insurance plans. Visit ChristieClinic.com to find the convenient care closest to you.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at Provident